What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. This is Be in the Driver's Seat, and today I am solo dolo. So, Regina, the queen of Carlons, has not made it into the building. Y'all, listen, she out there doing her thing. So, shout out to Regina, the queen of Carlons. Be out there doing your thing today, sis. I'm super excited to be in the pod today. I ain't been by myself, y'all, before. So, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited for the show. Even as I prepare for the day, y'all listen, your girl been on the road since 5 a.m. Driving to get here. So yesterday was an exciting day for me. So first, let me just say I am just so thankful today. I am grateful for all the things that God has done. And the word of the day is gratitude. But before I get there, I was able to celebrate my daughter yesterday. For those of you who know me, you know that I have one living daughter. Her name is Sierra Crudup, and she resides in Saginaw, Michigan, and she has a bakery and a cookie shop. I had the opportunity to visit with her yesterday, and she was licensed as a minister to preach the gospel. So, listen, y'all, I was so excited to sit there and watch the fruit of my labor. Like, I saw God in action yesterday, and my prayers were answered. So, for those of you all who are listening, if you're praying and asking God for something, know that He hears you and He will come through. So, shout out to Sierra Crudup. Congratulations, baby. I'm proud of you. But guess what? She didn't get there by herself. She didn't get where she was being recognized yesterday by herself. There was a village that assisted us. So I would like to shout out some very important women today. So you all know that last month was Women's History Month, and we congratulated a lot of women. We showed gratitude on Facebook. We told women we love them. But I just want to give some kudos out this morning because I realize that it does take a village to help raise your children. So if you have a village, please tell them often thank you. And so I'm reminded of even my late mother, Linda K. Burrows. I shout her out today for just being my mother and instilling some things in me when she could. So I bless her this morning. Even though she's not with me in the physical, I know that she is still in the great cloud of witnesses. And even her mother, Fanny Beatrice Burrow, I shout her out this morning. And then I also want to just kind of think about those who helped raise Sierra, Hattie Scott, which is her grandmother, and her Davis Scott Sr., which is her grandfather. So shout out to you all for just being the village that helped us. And my sisters, Shayna Burrow, she was one of the first ones who held Sierra and even named her. So I want to shout her out this morning. And then my other two sisters, Beverly Lightner and Stephanie Young, shout out to you and all of the family and friends. But I had some friends that stood in a gap and prayed because there were some times that I didn't know if we was gonna make it to where we made it to yesterday. If we could really be real, sometimes life takes a turn and kids will be kids. So they stayed on their face praying with me. And so I would like to shout her special TTs out this morning. So even though we may not communicate often or see each other, I want you to know that I appreciate you. So let me start off with her special TTs, Tenor Flagler. We salute you this morning, Dr. Tenor Flagler, Zanette Patton, Nicole Coley Howard, Tanisha Stevens, LaShawn Green, Alicia Rauman, Nicole Anderson, Deborah Green, Vicki Ellis, and the late Margaret Caldwell. We salute you this morning. And Gladys Sledge, we salute you this morning. Marlis Ward and Reverna Reed Tony, we salute you for all the prayers and to speaking in her life. We say thank you. And there's many more TTs. There's many more people who have deposited in her. Regina, the Queen of Carlons, thank you, sis. All of you all, those that stand beside me, my very own business partner, Brandy Mason, thank you for the prayers. And all the people who I talk to on a daily, my prayer partners, Robin White, I salute you this morning. Dana Hill Belton, I salute you this morning. I honor God for who He put in my path. For Karima DeJesus, I love you, sis. And so for all those who pray with me, who have lifted her up and lifted our family up, I want you to know that I am thankful today. So the word of the day is gratitude. And when I looked up the word gratitude, although I know gratitude is really appreciating and recognizing the good things that happens in our life, right? So it is the act of recognizing and appreciating the good things that or the good people in your life. So this morning I want to recognize you all, those that I named out, and also those that are on my heart that I may not have named out. Just know that you are special to me. And no matter if we do things big or small, being grateful is a big thing. So what does it mean to you? For all the listeners that's watching now, if you can tell me, what does gratitude mean to you? And gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is really a mindset or a heart posture. That's where your heart is. Like I have a heart of being grateful. I have a heart of being humble and telling people I love them and being present. That's where my heart is. Where's your heart this morning? So, what does gratitude mean to you? And also, as I was thinking about the word gratitude, not only is it a heart posture, but it focuses on what we have versus what we lack. That means I'm grateful for all the things that I have, all the people that's in my life. I'm grateful. Things could be very different. If we can be honest, things could be very different this morning. We may not have everything we want, but we thank God that we have everything that we need. He has supplied everything that we need. And if you could just stop real quick and just think about your life and how all through the years, all the years that you've been alive, God has been good. You may have had to go through some ugly things, some challenging things. It may have been some things that you may not have really liked, but God brought you through to this place right now. So wherever you are, just say thank you. Just say thank you. I know that gratitude is just more than saying thank you. It's a heart posture. So this morning, I'm going to ask you, what's in your heart? Because I am thankful. I'm grateful. So, for those of you that are watching, what does gratitude mean for you? You can also call in today. I'm solo dolo, so y'all can call in today right here on the pod. Shanti gonna put the number up because I don't know it by heart. I don't know the number by heart, but it is 248-905-1128. 248-905-1128. Call in and kick it with us today. We're gonna have a licensed professional counselor on today, my business partner, Brandy Mason. She's coming on in just a few minutes, and we're excited about the topic that we're talking about. But listen, chime in. What does gratitude mean to you? If you're watching now, just tell me, what does gratitude mean to you? And also, as you are watching, later on in the show, you'll have an opportunity to win. We do have a prize today. We are giving lunch today. So if you call in on the show while Brandy is talking and answer the question that we have, you will get free lunch. Good morning, Alexis. Good to see you this morning. Bless you. I know you. Did you just get off work, sis? So listen, shout out to Alexis, shout out to everybody that's watching. So, what does gratitude mean to you? I just told you it's a heart posture. I just told you it's a mindset. So, it's a mindset of being grateful, thankful. Amen. So, listen, I'm excited. So, as you get to thinking about gratitude and what it means to you, I just want you to put one thing in the forefront of your mind. I want you to put in one thing that you're just thankful for today. If I had one thing to say, I'm thankful for being alive. So, Brother Gil Garrett, shout out to you this morning, being able to listen and think back how people pour into us. I'm grateful for my village. Amen. I am grateful for my village too, sir. And I salute you this morning, Gil Garrett. Not only were you part of the Three the Hard Way team on being a driver's seat, but you have always been a consistent brother. So I salute you this morning. I bless you and your wife, and I'm thankful for you and your wife this morning. So listen, y'all, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back with Brandy Mason. So y'all listen, get your pen and paper ready. We got some news you can use today, right here on the Therapist Corner. See y'all in a few minutes.
Hi, it's Regina, the Queen of Carlones at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet.
And I'm Joe Longhammer.
We're doing something special for tax season. You can get 5 free oil changes, or you can get an extra $500 for your trade-in, or you can get $500 extra for your down payment.
Regina can only handle 25 of these special deals every month
because I work personally on each loan to get the best deal possible.
When these 25 spots are gone this month, they're gone.
I'm Regina, the Queen of Carlones, and I'll get you approved. Come in and say, "Give me the queen," or go to thequeendeals.com.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up, Regina, the Queen of Carlones, and Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, right in Waterford on Summit.
It's tax time, and we got 3 amazing offers for you.
Choose from 5 free oil changes,
$500 extra for your trade,
or $500 towards your down payment.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right. I can only process 25 of these deals per month.
Metro Detroit, don't wait.
Call or text 248-266-9875, 248-266-9875.
And we're back. So listen, Alexis, I see your comment. Gratitude for me is being appreciative and grateful. Amen. It is. Thank you, Gil, for telling me I'm doing an amazing job. I appreciate you, brother. So listen, y'all, the time has come. So listen, we actually are a week early doing the therapist corner, 2 weeks early doing the therapist corner because we had to move some things around. But this is the therapist corner today, and we are bringing in right now Brandy Mason. Brandy Mason is a licensed professional counselor, and she is also my sister, and I love her, and we are in business together. She is the CEO and owner of Your Heart Matters 365, and she is the co-owner of ATMH, which is all things mental health. Good morning, B.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm so excited that you're on this morning. It's always a pleasure to be in the spaces with you. You always bring a ray of energy, and today I was struggling. So I'm thankful that I can look at your face and just see God, okay?
Yes. Amen. Well, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad. So, you know what? Before we get started, can you tell the viewers? So I know about you, but can we tell some of the viewers a little bit about who Brandy Mason is and some of the work that you do?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. I do want to shout out Regina the Queen, Carlone expert. Shout out to her. Congratulations to your daughter, Sierra. So proud of
Thank you.
her. Amen. So, who is Brandy Mason? I am a wife, I'm a mother. My husband and I have 5 beautiful children. I am also a clinical therapist and your business partner. I am a entrepreneur. I launched my business in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic, which was a scary feat. So when you were talking about what are you grateful for, just thinking about where God has brought me and the individuals, of course, the community that He's put around me in an effort to help to assist and to get me where I am today. So I am a friend. I'm a compassionate person. I'm a giver. In this season, learning the art of receiving. And so God is teaching me how to beautifully receive. Sometimes when you think about the being appreciative and things like that, you think about giving, 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 and doing, doing, doing. But sometimes you got to in a seat where you're able to receive.
That's good. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people don't know how to receive. And I think that stems back from even childhood. Something may have been said or done, and we don't receive well. I know I used to struggle with compliments. You know, when people would say, "Oh, that's so pretty. I like that," and I would struggle. "Oh, this nothing. This old thing." So I'm thankful that you talking about being able to receive. Before we get into the topic, why is it important though that we're able to receive?
Well, I think especially with the field that we're in, we pour so much and
Mhm.
we can find ourselves in a space where our cups are almost depleted. And
Yeah,
so we know you can't pour from an empty cup, but I believe that we shouldn't be pouring from our cups at all. People should be receiving the overflow. And so when you're receiving, it's filling you back up. It is
mhm.
pouring back into you. And so I believe that God created us to be in our communities. You talk about the community, you talk about the people who got you here, and all the heart of thanksgiving to those and paying homage to those individuals who
Mm.
almost were the trailblazers and who got you here. So being able to receive is filling you back up. It is a rewarding heart posture where a person can be grateful,
Mhm.
where a person can be able to do the work that God has commissioned them to do. Because
Yeah.
if you're empty,
What you
how,
got?
what you giving?
What you giving? I like that you said that. And we talked a little bit about gratitude here, but one of the things about not being able to receive, it's almost like slapping God in the face. Like he can, how is it that he can give us things and allow people to pour into us,
Yeah.
us to pour into others, and we not receive? He's a God that reciprocates. You know what I mean? He gives us things, and it's almost like saying that what you're giving me is not enough. I would rather not take that, but I can give. Like we can't outdo God. So that is so good this morning. So, gratitude. What does gratitude mean to you?
Gratitude, I agree with the heart posture. Having a heart posture of thanksgiving, having a heart posture where you're appreciative of the things that you have. I think oftentimes, especially with this age of social media, you have access to everything at the click of a button.
Mhm.
You can see all these things that other people have, and you begin to compare yourself, and we know comparison begins to kill a person. And so that gratitude, it shifts your mind where you're focusing on the things that you have, you're focusing on the things that you are truly grateful for, and it puts you in a place of peace versus
Mhm.
the opposite, where it's taking away and causes, anxiety and depression and all
Yeah.
types of it can lead to different types of disorders. So gratitude helps to shift your mindset and keeps you focused on I think what you should be majoring in life, and that is that's peace.
That's good. When I thought about that, when you think about gratitude, period, as I was looking it up, it also makes us, like you say, focus on the good things, right? But it also makes us realize, you know what, we have more than we really think we have. Just think about it. We really have a lot to be grateful for. Sometimes we can, because we take things for granted sometimes, but even when I think about the necessities like water, like some places they don't have clean running water. And when I think about having access keys, some people don't have keys. So it's the small things as well as the big things that, trigger my heart. Like, you know what? I am grateful. I take nothing for granted.
Yeah.
Yes.
I recall elders back in the day. I recall them thanking God for things that, and I say elders like grandparents,
Yeah.
grandparents, and things like that. I remember them thanking God for things that they went through that was hard.
Mhm.
And that's a posture, of gratitude. It is, you're right, with looking at the things that we have, but then also sometimes when we look back at different periods or hardships that we may have faced, I
Mm.
recall wondering, how can I thank God for the lack, and hearing some of the tests that they went through. But gratitude shifts you to a place where you may have had some setbacks or may have had some hard encounters, but it
Mhm.
puts you in a appreciative place where you can thank God even for the small beginnings, even for the
Yeah.
things that, like you said, not
Mhm.
having water or not being in a suitable housing or whatever, maybe walking. I remember when I was sketching a bus going everywhere.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and so just appreciative of where God has brought you. But I thank God for those times too, because it fortified me.
Oh, yes. And it keeps you humble, right? It
Let
keeps
me-
you humble. So good morning, Auntie Annette out of Florida. Good to see you on. So let's get into our topic today. So listen, all of you all that are watching, we are talking about stress. The month of April is Stress Awareness Month. So get your pencil and paper out. B and I will be giving you some news you can use. So let's get right into it. B,
Okay,
right
okay.
into it. What
Yeah,
is stress?
so
What
this
is it?
this is something that I think we all need to pause and discuss more and more, because every single one of us will encounter and just encounter stressors on a day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
And so I think that stress comes in, and I don't believe that it is all bad in a sense. I think that there is some good stress to kind of keep us present in the moment and keep us reminded
Mhm.
of the things that we need to get done. But we know that the stress where it's coming in and it's consuming and it's causing an individual to just be completely burnt out, or a
Yeah.
person may be experiencing depression because of stress or anxiety because of stress. I think that it can be consuming.
Yeah, when I thought about stress, like you said, depression or anxiety, some of the symptoms of stress is really similar to that of depression and anxiety. So
It,
let's kind of talk about some of the signs. Like, what does that look like in somebody who may be, stressed? And let me just tell you now, a lot of people say, you know what, I work better under pressure. I work better when I'm stressed. I work better. But how, is that really a myth? Before we even get into that,
yeah.
is there a such thing as working better under stress?
No, I think their body has just become conditioned to it.
Absolutely.
I think their body
Mhm.
just become conditioned to that fight, flight, freeze response.
Freeze. Yeah.
Increases cortisol levels. Now, if
Mhm.
there is something that you need to be, let's just say you're walking down the road and there's, you're going up, it's a beautiful walk and you see a dog, you
Yeah.
need your fight or flight response. Let's just say dogs start chasing you. You need your
Yeah.
fight or flight response
Quickly.
to a safe space,
Quickly.
right? I grew up in Detroit, so
Quickly. You need it quickly.
you need that stress to catapult you from here to there. But that's not the type of stress that we're talking about, where you need it activated. Individuals who are in their day to day office settings,
Mhm.
you don't need stress activated sitting at a computer and your cortisol levels have increased and you've elicited that sympathetic nervous system where it's just overactive and that blood flow doesn't really have anywhere to kind of go to pause, to stop, and just not to be accelerated. You don't need your heart rate increasing uh,
Absolutely.
and your digestive system slowing down in an effort to be able to help you to process all those things you can still process. So I think that the conditioning of our minds, oh, I work
Mhm.
better, when I'm stressful. No, I disagree with that.
I do too. I do. And I know I just said that some of the symptoms of stress looks similar to a lot of other disorders, but when stress shows up, what are some of the ways that it shows up? I know we can
So
get some physical things, like a headache or
yeah, yeah,
frustration,
a
but
headache, a person could be having trouble sleeping, a person
Mhm.
experiencing stomach aches or
Mhm.
backaches. Individuals may be complaining a lot of, I'm tired. I'm tired. I
Yeah.
know that in the African American community, I'll hear that a lot. And so hearing individuals, especially in therapeutic situations where they're going, I've just been tired lately. I've been tired lately. So one of the areas that I start to check is their relationships, what's going on with
Mhm.
professional arena, what's happening in their financial arena, because those are areas where stress can show up. And so just looking at the physical body, because the signs will show in the physical body, but then the emotional signs would be the anxiety, the nervousness, the restlessness, a person just being extremely irritable. You've ever encountered
Mhm.
somebody and that person just snap at you and you're like, well,
All the time, right.
you
Yeah.
okay?
Are you okay? And I've seen people pacing. I've seen people change colors. Like there's it literally the blood flow in their body like rush to their face. So I
Yeah,
see this face that was at once a regular color now it's red because they're extremely stressed. And I people all the time eating, stress eating, stress
yeah,
walking, like just doing things because they need something to like combat that energy that they're experiencing. So
yeah.
that's good.
But then also, when some people are under stress, they start to withdraw from people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's why
Isolate.
it made me think about like depression or anxiety because they didn't want to be around anybody, wanted and I've seen people literally will lock themselves in their homes so
Yes,
that they can avoid everyone and everything with hopes that the stress would go away.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
one thing we can't do is we can't avoid stress. Stress is going to happen, but
right.
how we deal with it. And I remember us having a conversation not too long ago, Brandy, and I know we were talking about that there is no feeling that is wasted.
Yeah,
Every feeling that all the feelings that we have, they are, they're feeling. So we need to know what to do when we experience those feelings. So if you have someone who is experiencing stress,
Yeah.
what are some of the things as a therapist we would have them do?
Yeah. Well, good question. One of the areas that I like to check, first of all, before they do anything, I'd say check the boxes to see where is the stress
Yeah.
coming.
Mhm.
Locate the pain, locate the point, locate the stressor. And so once you identify what the stressor is, begin to build a strategic plan. Because oftentimes
Mhm.
we show up and we like to talk about things, but we don't
Yeah.
like to plan.
Come on, wait. I'll show up. I'll give you the stuff that I want to do, but I don't
Oh,
wanna do no
hello.
work. I don't wanna do no work. I don't wanna put no plan in place because it takes some action, right?
It
So I
takes
can talk about it all day long, but if I don't put no work behind it, what's the point?
What's
That's
the point?
good.
What's the
Yeah,
point? So
that
after you
is
check the
good.
boxes, after you discuss, okay, these are the stressors, and you've identified work is a stressor or this
Mhm.
relationship is a stressor, then you want to be able to build a plan. And so one of the things that I've noticed, and this has happened to me where I was working a job, I was working actually two full-time jobs. I was a program manager at a local agency and I was working as a part-time, well, almost full-time therapist. My hours were
Mhm.
varied from week to week, but I was working these two jobs and they were stressing me out. And here's the thing, I didn't even know it was stressing me out because
Mm.
I fell into that category where I thought it was normal. This is, oh, I'm busy. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. This is great. But it was impacting my body. I did not know until a client had left out and I was checking an email from my full time job. And the Holy Spirit said to me, breathe.
Mm.
He said, I didn't
Yeah.
know that I was holding my breath, sending an email, reading, and I'm responding, and I'm trying to do 10 things at one time that my body literally was exhibiting stressors. I had no clue.
Wow.
I was holding my breath, and I noticed that when he said breathe, my stomach relaxed. Talk about the things
Mm.
that you can do, breathe. Because when you breathe, you enact that parasympathetic nervous system. That's our rest and repair.
Yeah, I love that because that is really one of the tools we use, right? When someone is stressed, that's grounded, like a grounding technique that we use, and I love that, but I like the fact that you said Holy Spirit told you to breathe, and sometimes we won't stop and catch a breath.
That's it.
So, we always and I run into productive people, busy people, entrepreneurs all the time, and we really have adapted this mindset that booked and busy is good, but it really isn't. That is a trick of the enemy. Being booked and busy means you're not having time for yourself.
Yeah,
Like, you know what? I want to be booked, but I want it to be paced and I want it to be effective because just because you're booked doesn't mean you're effective.
that's right. That's
That's
right.
good this
Yeah.
morning. And so back to the stress piece. So I
Mhm.
know we were talking about what it looks like, but it could be sneaky, right? Stress can be sneaky. It can feel like something else. Like you said, you didn't even realize you were stressed. So for the listeners now, like how, we know that physically they can get a headache or their stomach or it may be some muscle tension, but what are some of the other sneaky ways that stress can come in and you don't even realize that you're stressed?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say that an individual, and oftentimes we skip this,
Mhm.
especially as adults, we skip the pausing and taking a moment to check pain points or pressure points in your body and sitting still. That meditation piece,
Mhm.
a lot of us adults skip that. That journaling piece, a lot of us skip that because if
But
you're
let's
not
go
taking,
back though. The
okay,
meditation piece. Some of us don't know how to be still.
that's true.
Like literally, I will walk some people through, grounding techniques. Their mind won't be still, their body won't be still. So how do you get a person to become grounded when they're all over the place all the time?
Yeah,
Because I know it's a practice, like you have to tell
practice.
them to practice. So how do you tell them to, you know what?
Yeah, yeah. And as human beings, we're used to being, we're used to
Yeah.
becoming, grabbing the bag and securing this. We're used to doing all these things. But I like to say that remember, it's human being, be.
Come
There are times that you
on.
just be. And
Yeah.
that is be still. That is rest. That is to repair. And I believe that there was a beautiful blueprint that was laid out in the
Mhm.
creation, going back to the beginning.
Yeah.
He rested. on
Yeah.
the seventh day. And so if you've noticed that you've worked for the past 7 days and you haven't rested, even in ministry where people are working on a Sunday, you don't think that that's work, but you're working, right?
Yeah.
If you've noticed that week after week after week, you've been pouring, and you haven't been resting and repairing, that is a telltale sign. Wait a minute, I did this on Monday, I did this on Tuesday, I did this on Wednesday. And I'm not talking about that little doze off at the computer chair at the, while you're still working. That's not rest.
Yeah.
You took a little cat nap, but that didn't repair, right? So your
Mhm.
cells to be repaired. And the only time that our bodies are being repaired is when we're resting. So I would just tell the listeners, if you've noticed where the past 30, you don't have to go back that far. The past 30 days, identify the days that you truly rested.
Yes. So listen, B, we're gonna take a break and we'll be right back. So stay tuned, y'all. We'll be back on Be in the Driver's Seat. Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hi, it's Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet.
And I'm Joe Longhammer.
We're doing something special for tax season. You can get 5 free oil changes, or you can get extra $500 for your trade-in, or you can get $500 extra for your down payment.
Regina can only handle 25 of these special deals every month.
Because I work personally on each loan to get the best deal possible.
When these 25 spots are gone this month, they're gone.
I'm Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and I'll get you approved. Come in and say, give me the queen, or go to thequeendeals.com.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, right in Waterford on Summit.
It's tax time, and we got 3 amazing offers for you.
Choose from 5 free oil changes
$500 extra for your trade.
or $500 towards your down payment.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right, I can only process 25 of these deals per month.
Metro Detroit, don't wait.
Call or text 248-266-9875, 248-266-9875.
And we are back. So, Brandy, before we went on break, you were talking about if you have been pouring, and you haven't had any chance to rest and repair, then you need to evaluate. So, let's kind of get back into that. So, a lot of people that I talk to, they're busy. And the economy that we live in, most people are working more than one job. And so, how do you pour back into yourself after you poured into everybody else?
That's a good question. So I would propose that the listeners take inventory. So the last 30 days, take inventory. How well did you rest? What were you able to do to aid the body with repairing, right? And so you said,
Mhm.
talk about eating while you're stressed. There are certain behaviors that we do while we're stressed, right? And
Yeah.
it just, a
Come
part
on,
of us.
Haagen-Dazs ice cream, or
Ice
come
cream,
on, cookies. Come on, you know how sometimes we're stress
absolutely.
eating and we're putting things in our mouth because it feels good, but it tastes good too. So we
Yeah,
satisfying two things. So that's
yes.
good. Stress eating.
Been there. And so,
Mhm.
and I think that this is where we miss it. We don't pause long enough to take inventory. And
Yeah.
so I'd say that today is a great day to pause. Today is a great day to add you. We got all these things on our calendar. Today is a great day to add you to your calendar. So for the next 30 days, because you've taken
Mhm.
inventory, you see areas where where you had insufficient funds at, right? Insufficient
Mhm.
a mindset or whatever the case may be. You're looking for the
Mhm.
insufficiencies and you're looking for the next 30 days. How can I build upon this where my body can truly repair? I love acronyms. I love acronyms. So one of the
Mhm.
acronyms that I love for rest, it is R is release the weight. So for the past 30 days, what are some areas that you can just trim off?
Mhm.
What are some areas where, okay, maybe I shouldn't be answering those emails, talk about stressing, killing, and impacting us and causing burnout and all that other stuff that we don't want. Okay, am I answering emails after a certain time? What's my
Yeah,
cutoff? I got to put boundaries on myself.
that's good.
When I wake up in the morning, am I grabbing my phone? Is that the first thing I'm looking at, right? Am
Mhm,
I allowing myself to be reset throughout the day, taking a break and walking away from the computer?
mhm. That's good.
15 minutes, it is, outside, the weather is changing. But going outside and just doing a quick little, let me just walk outside and I'm gonna walk back in. Just an
Mhm.
atmosphere shift or
Yeah.
atmosphere change.
Mhm. Changes your
Yeah,
body, changes the mood, changes your mindset. Yes,
yes.
all of
So
that.
the E is engaging your breathing. Remember when I said the Holy Spirit said, breathe, taking deep
Mhm.
breath slows the heart rate and it begin literally to calm your mind.
Yeah, and I
Lord,
love
fill
that
me with
because,
peace.
with
Inhale.
breathing, and I'm sorry to break in, but I love when you said that breathe because you're literally getting oxygen from to your entire body, even to your hands and your feet. When you breathe, you're allowing that oxygen to just completely flow through your body and put you at rest. So you're
Yeah,
commanding your body to respond to what you're telling it to and not
yeah,
from an outside stressor. I love that.
yes. And this is very simple. You can be at your computer and you can reset. You can be at
Mhm.
your computer resting. You can be doing busy work in the kitchen or, doing your the day-to-day tasks that you have to do. And
Mhm.
you can take a moment to just breathe. You could take a
Mhm.
moment, pause, engage your breath. So the S would be speak to your soul. Speak to your soul. We ignore our soul, our mind, our will, our emotions, and our imagination. What do
Mhm.
your soul need? Speak the truth
Mhm.
to yourself, right? And
Oh, that's
replacing
good.
those anxious thoughts with the truth, because sometimes
Mhm.
the anxiety or anxiousness will literally create a narrative that is not true. If I
Yes.
do this, I got to show up in all these ways and all this capacity. If I don't do this, then it won't be done. That's not true
Mhm.
because
That's
you exit
absolutely
God
that's right. What I love about that is, you know what? You're training your mind. So you're kind of doing some CBT there, right?
out. You
You're
see it?
trying to mess with those distorted cognition. So you like,
Oh,
wait a minute, no, that's not true. You know what? And so I like how you did that because you can also change the narrative of how you're thinking. So when you speak to your thoughts or speak to your soul, you're telling yourself, you know what, this is not true. Let me train it and by putting some good things in there. You know what? You can do this, but you're gonna rest. You can say no. Give yourself permission to say no. Why do people think that no is not a word?
because we were taught.
We were taught what?
We were taught that no is not a word. We were taught to give, because we saw Big Mama and we saw Daddy working from sun up to sundown. And that's something that we held and paid homage to. Daddy worked at the plant for 30 years and he never
Mhm.
paid off. Daddy
Mhm.
suspended himself and gave in all these different type of areas and contorted and did all these things for people and showed up. Mama never turned anyone away. She always gave, even till her last breath. We hailed that type of behavior
That's
because we thought at that time that's what we had to give. But now we know better. And so now we're making plans, strategic plans to do better. We don't have to burn the candle at both ends.
come on. You don't have
That's a lie.
to. That is a lie. But I wanna go back to that no word because, even as a kid, that's the first word most kids say. No.
No,
You tell them, come here,
no,
no. So it's like no was planted in mindsets early on. So
yeah,
now the word, so since we started saying it, then when someone said it to us, we felt like it was a cuss word. Because
that's
I know I can have a temper tantrum and Fred tell me no right now on some
yeah,
things. I'm like, "No." Like, I'm not used to hearing the word no, but really, no is a whole word.
it is.
People need to be able to accept the word no.
And it's a complete sentence.
Yes. A complete period.
Period. No.
Yes.
And we're waiting for explanations. Like, why'd you tell me no? Why? No.
Yeah. So that is really speaking to your soul too, saying, "You know what?
Yeah,
This isn't working for me right now.
that's
If
right.
something isn't working for me and not doing a service to me, I can release it." Like you said in the R, release the
Release.
weight.
Yeah,
And then the E, engage your breathing. So now we're speaking to your soul, right? So
yeah. And T is just taking time. Take
okay.
back the time to rest in God, taking
Come
back the
on.
time, right? We are not lazy when we're resting. Some people have the
Yeah.
mindset that rest equates to lazy. That's not
Mm.
true. Talking about changing the narrative, right? And
Yeah.
getting rid of the weight. Some of the weight is in the mind. It's that attitude or that
Mm.
mindset that has to shift. And gratitude helps with that. It helps to shift your mindset.
Yeah.
So taking the time that you need to rest and repair.
That's good. You know
Essential.
what, Brandy? I think too that sometimes we're our own worst critic, and we tell ourselves and we compare with others and make us think that we're not doing enough because we may see someone else doing something that God told us we were going to do, but we don't realize timing is everything. And so we can try to move around God, we can try to do things quickly, but the reality of it is sometimes we just need to be still.
That's it.
Just need to be still. Things are gonna happen in its timing, right? And
Yeah.
so I think that's why sometimes we feel like, "Oh, I'm not doing enough because so and so is doing what I know I've been called to do." You are called to do it, but timing makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good this morning. So
Yeah.
rest, REST. If y'all didn't get it, listen. R is for release the weight. E is for engage your breathing. S is for speak to your soul. And T it means taking time. Taking time to do what? Rest. That's good this morning. So if you're listening
Yeah.
right now, what does rest mean to you? Brandy has poured this into us. So Brandy, let's go on. So listen, now let's kind of talk about how do we combat stress. So you just told us the REST, but what are some other things? Because the first thing you said was boundaries earlier, and I wanted to jump up like, yes, create a boundary. Why is boundaries
Yeah.
important in resting? I think we may have lost you.
Did you lose me?
Okay, there you go. Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Can you repeat? You said,
Yeah. So boundaries, when we were talking earlier, you mentioned the word boundaries. And so why are boundaries important in when you feel like you're stressed?
well, I think about I always compare our soul house to a physical house. And you know how they say good fences make good neighbors. Boundaries
Yeah.
help us to stay within a certain parameter, right? And so, we need to know what our capacity level is, and boundaries help to
Mhm,
identify what that is. What do I have
mhm,
this month to give, pour in? And what do I need to receive this month? So boundaries help to identify,
mhm,
what those key things are. And so that resting or that taking time, that sitting down and actually identifying, okay, so if I'm on, let's just say, if I have three different events this month,
mhm,
and another person emails and says, "Hey, are you available?" Well, if
mhm.
I have capacity for three, I can't give the fourth.
Okay. So boundaries is saying, you know what? I can't.
I
This is
can't, and
not
it's
gonna
going back to that. No,
come on, going back to no. And you
no,
know what? People have a hard time with boundaries. And one of the things that I learned is sometimes we set boundaries, but we don't stick to them. And so people continue to violate the boundary because we never stuck to the boundary in the beginning. So why is it important?
we
And we teach our clients this too, but why is it important to stick with the boundary that you set?
Well, I think it helps individuals to be able to honor you. If you're teaching others that there's wiggle room within my boundaries, there you can, you know, you can request or make a request, and if you give the puppy dog eyes or please,
Mhm.
you can basically get your needs met, but I'm not getting my needs met. If my need is to rest, or my need is to repair, or my need is basically to step back and make some, different routines, and you're getting your need met, but I'm not getting my need met. No,
Yeah.
that's not okay. So I have to honor me. I have to respect me. And I
Yeah.
think it goes back to building the person up in the mirror. If you're
Mhm.
because we teach people how to treat us. We teach them.
Absolutely.
So if I'm teaching you that you can disrespect me and you can dishonor me and that my time means nothing, then guess what? You're gonna go with that. You're gonna
Yeah.
roll with it because, It's like, hey, you told me no, but then you turned around and say yes. Thank you, because there's a need that I have. So boundaries
Mhm.
helps to reset a person, right? So if you
Mhm.
identified, okay, you know what, I've given, I've shown up for other people, and I'm upset or I'm angry because of these things, is going back to the person in the mirror.
Yeah. So the person in the mirror, I know when we talk about that, I'm reminded of Michael Jackson's song, I'm starting with the man in the mirror,
Uh,
right? So
starting
I
with
love that. And I love the fact that when the song came out, I really listened to it, right? So it's really, I'm starting with me. So if I don't honor me, if I don't respect me, if I don't put boundaries in place for me, nobody else will. And boundaries, it doesn't mean you're being mean. It doesn't mean that you don't love or care about people, but it's like, you know what? I love and care about me too. I care about you and I'm gonna respect you and your boundaries, but I need you to do the same for me. That is
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Yes, do the same for me, and people will.
Mhm.
People will show up and they
Mhm.
will respect you and they will honor you. I mean, if
Mhm.
you tell me no, absolutely, because I value you and I value the light that you bring into my life. I
Amen.
respect that, and so you empower me. The more no's you say, the more,
Mhm.
cutoffs you have, the more outlines you produce and say, "No, this is nope, this is within my sleep time. I'm not doing that. That's
That's
within my rest
good.
time. I'm not doing that. Oh, I honor Fred, so that's our time. That's our alone time. Oh, I
Mhm.
like that, so I can adopt that. So we're teaching people,
Mhm.
but we're also training people that they can be empowered too. Oh man, I like the Dr. T. She put those boundaries in place.
That's good. Yeah. That is so good. So we've been talking about stress. So listeners, if you are listening, we gave you an acronym REST, REST. If you can tell us what either one of those letters stand for, you can win lunch on us today. Out of
Ooh,
the four letters that Brandy gave REST, she said what each one meant. If you can tell us what one means, you can win lunch today. So all I need you to do is either you can put it down in the chat, or you can call 248-905-1128. It will be good to hear your voice. So if you are listening, if you can pick up the phone and call 248-905-1128, we want to get your lunch for you today. So listen, Brandy, we got some exciting things coming up. So kind of first of all, let's talk a little bit about the free conference that we have coming up that is on April the 26th, Saturday, April 26th. This is a free grief conference. Ooh, my words tongue tied. So for those of you who are listening, we are having a free conference this Saturday.
yeah.
Saturday, listen, y'all, this is no sleep, y'all. I promise y'all forgive me. But we are having a grief conference on Saturday, April the 26th at the River New Wine Glory Church at 17235 Middle Belt Road in the city of Livonia. So kind of let's talk a little bit about what's happening at the mental health grief conference.
Yes, yes. Well, you've been up early, so give yourself some grace.
You know what? I am. I'm gonna
Give
set a
yourself some
boundary
grace.
and take a nap.
That's right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, so the grief conference is going to be awesome. It is. I can't put it out there enough or stress enough, pun intended with that word. That's that good stress. I want to stress that this conference is absolutely free and it is open
Mhm.
to mature audiences. So
Yes.
16, 17, 18-year-old, they can attend, right? And so
Yes.
if they have experienced some recent loss or something may have occurred in their lives, a harder transition, divorce, things like that. Youth
Mhm.
are impacted from their parents splitting up. That's grief. Those are things
Mhm.
that we will be talking about. And so we really want to unmask what grief look like,
Mhm.
talk about what is grief, and so define it. We want to give you some actual tools that can be able to help you. And so
Mhm.
this conference, we're going to be breaking things down, walking alongside and aiding and assisting, and prayerfully the individuals will walk away feeling completely replenished and refreshed and knowing that they're not alone.
Yeah. And what I love about what we're doing is we're going to be talking about loss, but how do you honor those that have gone on, transition on, maybe in heaven, or even the loss of a relationship? How
Yeah.
do you still honor the you in that? even if it's a loss in a relationship, how do you honor you in that loss? If it's a loss of a loved one, how do you honor them within the loss? Because guess what? We're all gonna lose something. We may somebody's gonna pass in our family or a close friend, a loved one, or
Yeah.
we're gonna lose some things in life. But how do you handle loss? So make sure you come. This is a free conference. We want to share this
Great.
news for you. All Things Mental Health is doing this conference at the River Church. We're excited to bring this to you free of charge. We really do want you to register, but you know what? You can show up 17235 Middle Belt Road, Livonia,
Yeah.
Michigan. We want to make sure you have a snack, but we're just gonna make sure you have a snack there. We want you to come, even if you don't have a way to register. If you just listening to this, even up until the day of on April 26th, we invite you. The time is from 12 noon to 3 p.m. and that's at 17235 Middle Belt Road in Livonia, Michigan. You don't want to miss this conference. Um, Come, be in a room with other people that may be going through some of the same things that you're going through. Network, phone numbers. There's help in the house. So come.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got something
Yeah.
else to offer to that? We're gonna take
I will.
after this.
Yeah, just encouraging individuals to come to receive a safe
Mhm.
space where they can process their emotions, process where they are, and to talk
Mhm.
about what's on their heart.
Yeah. And again, 17235 Middle Belt Road, Livonia, Michigan is at the River Church. And we'll be right back. We're taking a break. All right. Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up, Regina, the queen of car loans, and Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, right in Waterford on Summit.
It's tax time, and we got 3 amazing offers for you.
Choose from 5 free oil changes
$500 extra for your trade.
or $500 towards your down payment.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right, I can only process 25 of these deals per month.
Metro Detroit, don't wait.
Call or text 248-266-9875, 248-266-9875.
And we are back. So, listen, we have been talking about stress. April is Stress Awareness Month, and we have talked about what stress looks like if it shows up. We talked about some signs if if you are stressed, and we gave you some things to do to combat stress. But listen, what we haven't given you is contact numbers. So, Brandy, are you currently accepting clients?
I am on a
She
limited
is.
basis.
Yeah,
Listen,
so listen, we do screen our clients. So this is no shade, but we do make sure that everybody's a good fit. Because
yeah.
if we can be honest, every therapist is not for everyone. And we are now credentialed, so we do take insurance. So if
Woo-hoo.
you do have Blue Cross Blue Shield,
Yes.
Aetna, and Priority Health, we do see you. We do see some more, but those are the ones that are popping up now. So, Brandy, can you tell the listeners how can they get in touch with you if they want to set up a session?
Absolutely. Well, they can go to my website, www.yourheartmatters365.com, or they can give me a call, 248-679-6952.
248.
679-6952.
Yes, 248-678-6592.
Nope, 248-679-6952.
679-6952. We're putting it on the screen. That's why I'm repeating. So
Oh,
248-679-6952.
yep, 69,
6952.
correct.
So it's 679 248-679. Yep, we're coming through. We coming through. 679. I think we ain't got it right, Shanti. but we gonna get it right. Tell us one more time, B. 248
248
679
679 6952.
6952.
You'll be singing it later on.
Uh-huh.
248 679 6952.
6952. All right, so that's good. 248
You can put it in there.
952. Yes, so it is on there. Great job. And also, if you want to get on her website, it's www.yourheartmatters365 at gmail.com.
Nope, not at Gmail. It's just
No, I'm sorry, .com. Y'all see? Got them wrong. Your Heart Matters
365.
365.com. And so we've had a good time today. You encouraged us to pour back into ourselves.
Amen.
Rest and repair is one of the biggest things that I gathered today because guess what? I know that I need to repair. I know that I need to rest. I also know that I need to release weights. I know I need to engage in breathing. I need to speak to my soul and take time to rest.
Yeah.
So if you're listening today and you want to contact Brandy for a session, you can contact her at 248 679 6952. Again, that's 248 679 6952. So, Brandy, is there a lasting thought that you want to leave with the listeners today?
Absolutely. I would like to leave words of encouragement. Just letting you know that stress is not a failure, it's a signal. And so sometimes it's a signal to pause, it's a signal to breathe, it's a signal to rest, and just remember who holds your life in your hands. So
Amen.
let's
That's real good.
rest and repair.
Yeah. And remember, good fences make good neighbors.
Yeah.
Boundaries. Set those boundaries. So, Brandy, thank you so much for joining today on Being the Driver's Seat. It was such a pleasure to have you, and I look forward to seeing you later on. And
Yeah.
so, happy Saturday to you, and we thank you again for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are welcome. See you soon. So, listen, we have been talking about stress. So, I hope you go back and listen to the replay and see how if are some of these symptoms relating to you. Are you feeling stressed? Do you have a low mood? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Do you find yourself being anxious and irritable? You could be stressed. A lot of the symptoms that are related to stress shows up in diagnoses like depression and anxiety? Do you feel overwhelmed? Because I know sometimes being stressful, it feels normal because stress can be sneaky. It can be overwhelmingly feeling normal, like you feel like things are okay and they really not. So do some self inventory and ask yourself, am I stressed? You can go down the line. Am I feeling anxious? Do I have a lot of things on my plate and I feel overwhelmed? Can I not say no? Like, is there some things that's causing me to be anxious or to be mad, to be angry, or to be stressed? Sometimes you need to stop, pause, and breathe. So release the weight, engage in breathing, speak to your soul, and take time to rest. REST. Now pour back into yourself like you pour into others. So as you go through the month of April, know that this is Stress Awareness Month. Make sure that you take time and tell others, you know what? You're important. You matter. Breathe. Sometimes you don't know you bad until you finally feel good. That's good. Sometimes you don't know you're bad until you finally feel good. That's good right there. Sometimes you can be in a space for so long that you didn't even know you were in that space until you start to feel better. So, if you got nothing else from the show today, take time for you. Do some self-care. Make sure you get some rest. Make sure you drink your water. Y'all see me drinking my water? Make sure you take your water and make sure you mind your business. See y'all later. Happy Saturday from being a driver's seat.